So you want to be like Casey Neistat. You want to make some vlogs. You want to tell better stories. And you get a camera. A phone works too. And you often thought to yourself, I want to make some videos. Most importantly, you don't mind throwing away 250 bucks. If all that sounds like you might be very interested in this class.
Hi, I'm Casey Neistat, and welcome to my monthly class. Check it out. This class is a hands-on 30-day learning experience designed to teach you everything that I know about filmmaking and storytelling.
But before you really go sign up, I really want to just share my experience and what I learned to tell you whether it's worth it or not. By the way, they don't really take cash. Okay guys, I know this is really random and you guys are probably wondering what the hell I'm doing, and the image looks different, the sound's different, because I'm using a different camera. When I was recording earlier today, I accidentally dropped this camera, which is the only camera I got. I am recording on a camera that I just borrowed from a friend. Okay, now I really think this is the perfect way for me to start sharing this first important lesson that I learned from Casey's class, which is
those obstructions are opportunities.
Second half of the class, Casey taught us how he made his most recent YouTube video.
So apparently Ray-Ban launched a pair of sunglasses that have a built.
It was absolutely not a smooth and easy process. He had ran to 3 different stores all over New York City and trying to get those Ray-Ban video glasses. And there was an entire sequence he recorded without any audio. When he found out later, he was so frustrated.
But there's no audio. Nothing.
But he didn't let that stop him. He actually did a dub over on the streets to cover up that missing audio, which not everyone would notice unless you took that class as well or you're watching my video right now. Okay, the point here is that there is some unexpected obstacles or obstructions during filmmaking. Like me breaking this camera is very heartbreaking, or Casey lost his audio.
They will always happen when you're making movies by yourself.
Yeah, sooner or later, we all gonna encounter some problems in the filmmaking process. Just remember that whenever something bad or unexpected happened, just try to use them as your ingredients to add flavors to your stories. Just like how I did by sharing my stories of breaking this one and only camera to you guys to tell this story, to make this point. No matter what happened,
don't quit, don't quit, don't quit, don't quit. Don't quit. I'm not gonna quit.
So next, since I broke my one and only camera, it is very natural for me to talk about the next lesson I learned from Casey, which is about the gear.
It's not the gear that makes something good. It's you. It's the story that you're telling.
In order to prove that, Casey really showed us how he made a movie with just owning an iPhone. In the first half of the class, he really walked out the street with owning an iPhone, and he made a 3.5 minute long movie, which was a
great movie.
It has great music, great story.
That is, I bought a fake Louis Vuitton bag.
Great pacing, great ending. So as a total beginner myself in filmmaking, I often put the blame on lack of gears. You know, I often think to myself, I'm not having a good camera. But seriously, that's a total bullshit. What makes a great movie is
a meaningful enough story, interesting story, fascinating story.
So what makes a good story good is 2:37. Have 4 hours of sleep last night, and I just did a 3 miles run. I want to talk about this real quick that Casey shared in one of his podcasts, and he said that when he was making his daily vlogs, he really doesn't have that much time. He got to really work on his movies after his kids go to sleep, and he has to film in the day. And also, he has to run a company, so he sometimes will work until 4 or 5 a.m. and still wake up like 2-3 hours later and we'll go for a run.
For me, running this alone time is top priority.
And that is the work ethic, I think, what makes Casey great. Let me go take a shower real quick. That feels much better. Okay, let me keep going. To make a great story, Casey taught us this approach, which is called
parallel thought process.
Taking Casey's latest movie as an example again. It seems like this movie is all about this Ray-Ban video camera, sunglasses, and New York City. But after you really watched it, you can feel and probably still remember those emotions throughout the movie.
It's good to be back in the city.
The journey of him getting those sunglasses and running around New York City on a skateboard was just a vehicle to express the common and relatable emotions like feeling curious, excited, and frustrated, etc. And those emotions are universal that most people can relate to. And he has delivered those emotions really well in a combined way, visually, orally, and verbally.
The footage kind of sucks.
So it's never just those superficial stuff. There are always underlying theme in every Casey's movies, and those universal underlying theme is always universally relatable and interesting to most people. That is why Casey has a very wide range of audiences from all over the world. Before I move on, I do want to address this because I believe a lot of us has felt like that our life is just not interesting enough to share and be the story. And I used to have so much self-doubt about this. After this class, I gained so much confidence because of what Casey said in one class.
In the moment, it was interesting to me. And if it's interesting to me, it's a safe assumption that it's going to be interesting to someone else.
And that really hit me hard. I want to always remember that. So next, I want to share some filming techniques and tricks that I learned from Casey. The first one is that you always take redundant shots when you are filming. Let's take a look how Casey does that.
So
Pay attention. You guys see that?
So apparently,
you see that? He changed from an ultra wide lens to just a medium shot. And that is such an unnoticeable change, but it helped the audience to shift the attention from the entire room to his blue screen.
Apparently,
that happens everywhere in his movie. Let's keep going.
He's probably been on now.
Let's look at this. From a medium shot
The door cam
to a very close up, just to his entire big face.
Pro Hero 4. This thing's probably been on non-stop for like 7 years. I think I finally killed it.
You see, he come back to this medium shot again. He really used this technique everywhere, pretty much. Whenever he needs to reach something, grab something, any like action is gonna happen, he will do it for twice, at least twice. So to really cut them in the action. You see? All right, watch this. Watch this. This is ultra wide, right? You can see a lot of things, and it changed. The lens changed. Another filming trick I learned from Casey is that never act normal in front of the camera. You probably know this if you're really a fan of Casey Neistat. He never unboxes stuff like a normal person because he believes that
I do that for cinematic effect. Like if I wasn't recording, I'd probably open these things like a normal human. But I do it for camera because, one, it's funny. It's always funny. And a little humor goes a long way, especially in a video like this. But then also, it's cinematically compelling to watch. Like, who behaves like this? I don't know, but this is interesting. I otherwise probably wouldn't be so interested in watching a pair of sunglasses being unboxed.
Another filming trick that Casey does a lot is that he uses the sound really well. So whenever he does something, he would intentionally do it in a more aggressive way, so the sound would be more richer, would be louder. By doing so, it actually makes the movie much more compelling and interesting to watch and hear at the same time. Here's an example.
See one thing wrong with
Watch this. You hear that? That is very satisfying to hear. And that is another example of him using the sound intentionally. Watch this. He used the sound of moving the trash can to break the music, to kill the music. And the music picks up whenever he feels like it's getting boring.
Done. I mean,
it just feels like all this music works for his movie. There are a lot of things that you don't notice in the edit, but during the filming, he intentionally enlarged those sounds so he can use them to break up the sound and music later in the edit. You know what I'm saying? Okay, the last lesson I want to share here is about editing, which is the most important part according to Casey.
I take editing very seriously, and editing to me is the writing.
I want to share a few tricks that I learned from Casey with you guys. The first one is that
the best edits are the ones you don't notice.
One trick that Casey uses the most to hide those edits that people can't even notice is the audio overlay. Actually, audio underlay.
Taking a bit of the audio from the first clip, putting it under the second clip, so you're going to still hear the first clip while you're seeing the second clip. This is New York City's Chinatown. Chinatown is known for its...
And Casey does that literally for every transition, which makes his audio and image perfectly smooth. Okay, before I finish this video, I just want to talk real quick who should take this class. I believe you gotta really love filmmaking, like seriously. Second, you gotta have some, really basic knowledge of editing and filming, because Casey is not gonna teach you anything about that. And you gotta figure out that first by yourself. And it's more like about your the philosophy of filmmaking and storytelling, which is great class. And I really enjoy the class. And most importantly, seriously, as I said earlier, you got, willing to pay the price. It's $250 for this 1 month class. I mean, to me, it's definitely worth it. And yeah. And I'm really proud of myself finally finishing this video, which I spent a lot of hours on this video, breaking the camera and spending the money, all these hours, but I really enjoy it. I really love the process. So I hope you liked it, and I hope you learned something, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching, and thanks for your time. Bye-bye. Woo! Oh, I forgot to say one last thing, that I have written down all the notes while I was taking the class, and I am willing to share with y'all, so I'll leave the link down below, and if you guys are interested in more details of this class, just go check it out. And yeah, I hope you get some value from it, and don't forget, hit that subscribe and share with a friend if you find this video valuable. And I'm finally is gonna take a break, and yeah, I need that, and I need to go get a camera.